Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story dives into the unexpected twists life can throw our way, exploring the themes of betrayal, resilience, and the power of starting fresh. Sometimes the hardest challenges reveal who we truly are, and in this story, you'll see just how someone turned a painful situation into a new beginning. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own stories of resilience in the comments below. Sit back, relax, and let's jump into today's tale. I suspected, but I hoped I was wrong. Susie and I have been married for 7 years and have 2 kids, boys ages 4 and 6. I have a good job in upper management with a tech company. Susie wanted to work, and that was not a problem with me. We had dreams of retiring one day and living the good life. Know what I mean? She worked at a small company in the accounting department. She always left home at the same time as I did in the mornings, and we took turns dropping the boys off at daycare and preschool. We texted during the day, and I usually picked the kids up on my way home in the afternoon. She was always there putting together our supper. We played with the kids, watched a little television, put the kids to bed, then enjoyed our adult time, usually 3 times during the week and always a couple more times on the weekends. There were never any complaints from either of us. About 3 months ago, a new lady was hired at her company. They became instant friends for some reason, maybe because this woman was married and had 2 boys the same age as our boys. We ended up spending a couple of weekends back and forth at each other's houses for BBQ and play dates with the boys. I was not fond of either of them. The woman smoked and ordered her husband around like she was a queen and he was her servant. Definitely not like a partner in a marriage. The man was such a wimp. When she chastised him about spilling his beer, he drank a lot. He apologized like an abused child. 2 weeks ago, we were at their house. Susie and his wife Anne were in the house preparing us a snack. The kids were all watching the latest Disney movie, and this guy, Paul, and I were sitting on the back deck drinking. I still had my first beer, and he was working on his third. It was obvious he had a few before we arrived. He was slurring his words when he said, "I would never have suspected you. I always thought you were so big and macho. I guess they come in all shapes and sizes." To be honest, I was ready to go 15 minutes after we arrived, but I was putting up with this drunk out on the back deck just to keep him away from the kids. "What are you talking about? Being a no one would believe you are one." "What gives you the idea that I am a cold?" I answered. "You let your wife go out every week with Anne. What the hell do you think they are doing? Girl talk until midnight?" Okay, I need to explain some things. About 2 months ago, Susie had started going out on Wednesday nights with the girls from her work. The first couple of weeks, she was home around 8 that night. She said they had dinner and a drink or two. Then she came home at 11:30 one night. After she showered and got in bed, she explained that they had got to talking about a problem at work and time had just slipped away from her. She needed the shower because Anne smoked and she hated that smell in her hair. She was too tired, so we snuggled and went to sleep. Then getting home around midnight had become a regular thing for the last 2 weeks. I love my wife. I trusted her, but I did get suspicious when she was not as amorous the nights she went out with the girls. She always showered with the same explanation that she smelled like smoke. Last Wednesday, I checked her clothes. They did smell like smoke, but I could not find her panties in the hamper. They were hanging on the handrail in the shower. She had washed them. Why? That is why I was so curious about this cuckolding comment. "So you think our wives go out each week and hook up?" "I know they do," he burped loudly. About a year ago, I saw a hickey on one of Anne's breasts and a bruise on her hip. I knew I had not put them on her, and I confronted her. She admitted one of her black bulls had gotten a little rough with her. "Why are you still with her?" "You should have divorced her," when I tried to reply. "The same reason you will still be with Susie when she finally tells you we live in a no-fault state. If I divorce her or she divorces me, it makes no difference. She gets alimony, child support for 2 kids, the house, and I pay for everything. That would put me in a shabby apartment, eating cat food. That's why I'm still with her. What about your relationship? Do you still have intimacy with her, knowing she's being unfaithful? I asked. Oh, hell yes. That's part of the deal. I'm with her whenever she wants, even after she's been out. I think she enjoys making me do that, he replied. How can she make you do that? I asked. As I said, if I don't do what she wants when she wants it, she will divorce me. Cat food, remember? So, how often does she go out? I asked. A couple times a week. Susie only goes out with her once a week, and the other nights we are home together, I replied. That will change. She'll start going to parties. At first, she will say it is a baby shower or a wedding shower. She'll give you a good excuse for being gone until 2 or 3 in the morning. Then she'll have a headache or her period, or just be so tired for a couple of days. Wait and see, he said. The girls came out on the deck about that time, so nothing more was said. In a couple of hours, we were back at home. Susie busied herself with the boys while I retreated to my man cave to do some work on the computer that night. It was me that was too tired when I finally came to bed. I am not a wait-and-see type of guy, as Paul had suggested. Wednesday came, and I got a text that Susie and the girls were going out and she may be late getting home. I fed the boys and got them in bed after some boring television. I completed my work in my man cave and then sat my ass in the living room to wait for Susie. It was 12:15 a.m. when I heard her key in the door. As she entered the room, I flipped the light on, and she almost jumped it out of her skin. Damn, Jack, you scared me. What are you doing up at this hour? Waiting for you to get home from the Mandingo Club? Were you able to hook up with a black bull? I asked. Jack, what are you insinuating? That I am cheating on you? We had dinner, then got to talking. Don't even start lying. You know what I do for a living. I know where you were and what you were doing. Technology is amazing. It was then that she smiled. That wicked, evil smile. I knew what was coming. So what? There is nothing you can do about it. If I want to have every black banana in the city, you'll just have to put up with it. This is a no-fault state. Divorce me and I'll get alimony and child support for 2 kids. You'll pay the house note and the kids' tuition. You might get to see your boys once a month. If you're lucky, I'll move one of my bulls in here to help with the kids, and there is not a damn thing you can do about it. You'll be living in a shitty little apartment and eating tuna fish out of a can, so just get over it. Anyway, this is probably just a passing fantasy with me. Maybe a year, maybe 2 or 3, and I'll be over my fascination with big black bananas. Then we can get back to the lives we have planned. Now I'm going to take a shower and get ready for bed. You better be there when I get there. You know how I like you to spoon with me at night? That little speech was rehearsed. I am betting it was prepared for her by Anne. I got up and cut the light off, then walked up the stairs. She did not try to kiss or hug me in bed that night. I did spoon with her. No sloppy seconds or black cream pies. The next morning, things went back to normal. I did not want to upset the boys any more than they were going to be in a few weeks. Before she left for work, Susie told me there was going to be a baby shower Saturday night and she was going with Anne. I grinned and looked at her. You never were a good liar, Susie. If I have to accept you having with a bunch of blacks, you should at least tell me the truth about where you are going. One of Anne's black friends is having a party and I'm invited. I'll be home around 3 a.m. or so, she replied. See, that was not so hard, was it? I answered. Jack, I love you. I always will. This is just something, a fantasy. Nothing more, Susie. I have had plenty of fantasies over the past years, but I never acted on them. No, this is cheating, not only on me and our marriage vows, but the boys also. I have to put up with it because of the laws in this state. But it is cheating, I replied. I think you better change your attitude. Things can get a lot worse for you, she replied. I'm trying. I just need some time. This is all just so different for me. But I'm getting there, little by little, I answered. See you later. She left, smiling. She thinks I am on my way to becoming her cuckold. She could not be more wrong. And that wraps up this chapter, but there's still more to come. What would you do if you found yourself in a similar situation? Would you confront things head-on or take a different approach? And what do you think the protagonist will do next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're curious about what happens next, make sure to like this video and let me know if you'd like a part 2. See you in the next one.